Not the talkative type, huh? He softly boops your nose with the tip of his bloody bat when you refuse to answer. Rusted nails sticking out of the thing at haphazard angles, all crooked and wrong. What would it feel like, having them drill into your head? You shudder at the thought. If you don't give him the slip, you're likely about to find out. Hey all you cool creatures! I'm Cryptid, welcome to the Cryptid Plays YouTube channel. And today we are playing Close to Obsession, which is a visual novel created for the 72-hour Murder Boy Mayhem Jam, which means it does feature a murder boy. And what this one is about is that after witnessing the brutal murder of your date, a man professes his desire to go out with you. Now, I'm sure you can tell, but this game is intended for an 18+ audience because it contains disturbing themes, which include murder, blood, obsessive behavior, and stalking. But viewer discretion is advised. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Bronson Street, 10:30 p.m. You cradle a warm cup of tea in your hands, provided by the EMTs when a police officer approaches you. Oh wow, this is already starting off intense. They're tall, about 5'10", and dressed in pressed black slacks and a button-down shirt. A reserved smile tugs at their lips. The mark of a professional who's done this for years. Only the slightest trembling of their pen, hovering inches above the yellow notepad, gives away the effect the grisly scene in the alleyway had on them. Hi, I'm Officer Gabriel. I just wanted to grab your statement on what took place tonight, if that's all right with you. You can barely speak, a souvenir left over from all the screaming you did. Of course. Okay, we appreciate your cooperation. They click their pen. So, first things first. Can you tell me about the man who assaulted you and your date in the alleyway? You swallow thickly and tug the blanket around your shoulders, trying to keep your entire body from shuddering as you relive the memory. Alleyway, recounting of the assault and homicide, 9:30 p.m. His shrill laughter assaults your ears, delighted and happy, almost childlike in its glee. Oh, dang, that's a good design. Oh, did you see the look on his face? He looks so f***ing dumb. Man, I wish I could have captured that in 4K. The man sighs blissfully, euphoric almost, as he tilts his head back, face illuminated by the moonlight, and whispers, "I hope you like this as much as I do." Before losing himself in another fit of laughter while you stand there trying to process what just happened. You peer down at your hands, vision blurring as if to shield yourself from the horror. Blood trickles between your open fingers, a warm, woozy feeling thumping in your chest, sending a fresh wave of nausea rolling through you. You clamp those same hands over your mouth in an effort to keep from throwing up because you hate throwing up. It doesn't work. Instead, you end up half collapsing into one of the many trash cans dappling the back alleyway, and knock it over before vomiting all over the fallen pile of rubbish. Tears squeeze through your scrunched eyelids like juice forced out of a lemon. How did this happen? One moment you were on a perfectly normal outing with your Hinder date, and now, oh that's cute, Hinder and stuff Tinder. The memory of a metal bat slicing through the air and crunching through bone, cracking his head open like an egg, sends bile up your throat once more. God. Oh God. He was alive just a minute ago. He took you out for dinner. Expensive. Fancy. You look at the reminders of that dinner now lying in a mix of stomach acid. What a waste of good food. Your intrusive thoughts cut through everything else, inappropriate and unwelcome. You beat them back violently. You just watched a man die. How can you think something like that at a time like this? You scrub your mouth clean and your eyes flicker towards the silhouette standing over the fresh corpse, that resting on his shoulder as they nudge your date's hand with the toe of his sneaker. Another confirmation they're dead. Not such a big shot now, are you, buddy? Another giggle and scrapes against your nerves, setting you on edge. Then, you doing all right over there, Cupcake? He's referring to you, not the body. You open your mouth, close it, open it again. You're so scared your voice refuses to cooperate. Sorry, I know I kind of made a mess. Hope it doesn't bother you too much. But at least he's out of the way now, eh? The man stretches his arms over his head, arching like a sunbathing cat, enjoying the comforts of a lazy Sunday. Every movement appears slow and deliberate, almost as if he's trying to convince you he's not a threat with his carefree attitude and loose limbs, ready to strike as soon as you make any sudden movements or sounds. You're not fooled. And you won't be lulled into answering his sick little questions. Resolute, you keep your mouth shut and your eyes trained for an opportunity to escape despite the wavering odds. Cupcake? You still with me? You didn't answer my question. When you remain silent, he forgoes the body and closes the distance between you two in 3 easy strides, before lowering himself into a crouch to meet your gaze. You're half tempted to jab your fingers into his eye sockets, but you refrain. Nothing good ever comes from half-baked attempts at escape. Not the talkative type, huh? He softly boops your nose with the tip of his bloody bat when you refuse to answer. Rusted nails sticking out of the thing at haphazard angles, all crooked and wrong. What would it feel like, having them drill into your head? You shudder at the thought. If you don't give him the slip, you're likely about to find out. Not that I mind. As long as you're in the present with me, that's all that matters. You don't even have to talk on our future date. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. The sound that leaves your throat is scratchy and jagged around the edges. You never take your eyes off his crude bat. Date? What the heck is he talking about? The man smiles in response at your confusion, all bright white teeth and borderline flirtation. Of course. We matched on Hinder over a week ago. When you stare at him, deadpan, he continues on, rubbing the back of his neck. We started talking last Saturday, and I felt we had a deep connection, so I tried reaching out to you about setting up a date. But you never responded, so I took the liberty of approaching you in person. Don't you remember me? You try to place him, studying his earnest face with a wary eye. But all your previous matches blurred together in a haze of right swipes curated on a lonely Saturday night, curled up on the couch. Not to mention, you don't keep tabs on the people you aren't interested in. He frowns, almost pouting as he registers the implications of your blank expression. Nothing? Nothing at all? Not a damn clue. Oh, that's unfortunate. But I guess... He leans forward so close that the tips of your noses touch. You'll remember me now, won't you? I guess we will. Then he leans forward and kisses your cheek as he presses something small into the palm of your hand, curling your fingers around it. A slip of paper. Don't be late. It's the last thing he says before leaving you trembling on the ground, lost in a daze of confusion with the warm imprint of his lips on your skin. Bronson Street, 10:30 p.m. Officer Gabriel appears sympathetic as they scribble down your official statement. When they're finished, they look back up at you, eyes soft. Do you still have the note on you? You nod and withdraw the little heart-shaped sticky note out of your pocket before handing it over to them. Gabriel frowns, taking in the smudged ink and elegant cursive handwriting, just as dumbfounded as you were when you read it the first go, trying to find a reason within the madness. Spoiler alert, there is none. Not a single conversation with a stranger should ever lead to something like this. You clench your teeth so hard they start to chatter. Gabriel rests a hand on your shoulder, the gesture meant to convey understanding, despite the fact physical touch repulses you right now. You can still feel the imprint of the stranger's kiss, unwarranted and unwanted, on the arch of your cheek. His desire to possess you conveyed with one simple action. A piece of knowledge that makes you want to crawl out of your skin and scrub it clean underneath a vat of boiling water. Or at least a scalding hot shower. You fold in on yourself, trying not to hyperventilate. Whatever your newfound stalker deluded himself with, you don't care. You just hope to never see him again. Otherwise, you'll find a way to take his bat and use it against him if you can help it. There's a squeezing sensation on your shoulder, and you look up to find Gabriel looking down at you expectantly, as if they asked you a question. Sorry. Could you repeat that? Sorry. Gabriel drops their hand, arm falling to their side. No apology necessary. You've gone through a lot. I just wanted to know if you needed a ride home. Their eyes scan the parking lot. Unless you wanted to call someone to pick you up? No, a ride would be great, thank you. Gabriel smiles, this one without reservation. Of course. You get up to follow Gabriel to their car when the sensation of being watched causes your legs to buckle. You almost trip over yourself and whip around. Your eyes search through the darkness, catching sight of a figure standing atop one of the nearby apartment buildings, fear running its talons down your back. But when you blink, the figure disappears and you wonder if you imagined the whole ordeal. Hey, are you coming? Gabriel stands next to their patrol car, the passenger door opened and waiting for you. Yeah, I just thought I saw something. You take one last look, steeling yourself for the figure to pop up again. But they don't. Or maybe they were never there to begin with. But still, the words the man left behind on the heart-shaped sticky note still haunt you. They're ingrained in your mind. Next Saturday, I'll pick you up at 8:30 p.m. Don't be late. Hearts and hugs and kisses, Max. Or XOXO, whatever you want to say. Bronson Street, rooftop, 10:30 p.m. Oh no! Max peers over the lip of the rooftop, taking in the swirling red and blue lights below. Police officers flock the alley a few apartments over, taking pictures of the corpse and directing passerby away from the scene of the crime. A beautiful disaster Max created on impulse. Gee, Max, that's not cool. All because he couldn't help but be inspired by you. I like his little blush when he thinks of us. He always liked art. Painting canvases with vibrant splashes of color that stood out to the eye, drawing attention to those who appreciated the work. He made a canvas out of that man's body and gave it to you as a present. Do you like it? He's almost certain you do, though he feels a bit guilty about getting his work all over you. But it was all in the name of love. And besides, that man clearly wasn't worth your time, and Max wanted to give you something to show how special you are to him. Otherwise, he might come off as a man lacking sincerity. Stop being so sincere, Max. We don't need this. And he's nothing if not sincere about his feelings. So, he thought about bringing you things like chocolates and flowers, but figured those were over the top and a bit cliche in the grand scheme of things. No, do cliche! Please. No, what he needed was something revolutionary. The artiste in him said as much. It wasn't until he followed you around on your night on the town with that man that inspiration struck. Not to mention that man. What was his name again? Logan? Jeremy? Jared? Who cares? He's going with Jared because he can't be bothered to remember, because screw Jared and his cheating scumbag agenda. That man led you on. He deserved what became of him. Max angrily palms the wedding ring in his pocket and brings the band out into the light, digging his nails into the loving inscription of "Forever Yours" on the inside of the band. Talk about the lowest of low. And you don't deserve that. You don't deserve any of that, because you deserve the best. And if you can't see that, then Max will make sure that you do. Even if he needs to paint this entire city in red to make you see it. So we've just completed what there is of Close to Obsession. While the creator has said this is a rough draft, there is quite a lot of potential with it, and I truly hope that the story gets expanded upon later. I found the plot to be quite compelling and delightfully over the top, which I am a fan of when it comes to horror. Go big or go home. This was definitely going big. I also like that we were introduced to the antagonist through the player character's memories, even though we did see him after they explained what had happened and kind of got his thoughts on things. But I do enjoy the plot device of someone recounting their memories of something that happened, and that's how you see that part of the story. I do just think that's pretty cool. Also, the idea of meeting an obsessive person on a dating app is a fantastic way to kick off the horror too, especially since it seems our character basically, they decide they weren't interested, which, you know, it happens. But regardless of that, the antagonist Max was a fun character. He definitely seems like he entirely misunderstands the player character, which is clearly not the only thing that he's doing wrong, but it makes for a decently disturbing antagonist. If the creator expands upon the game further, I cannot wait to see what further horrors Max will expose the main character to. And you know, beyond the horror stuff, I was also a huge fan of the designs. Max was very flashy and had a sort of rock starish look about him that I vibe with, and his nickname for us, Cupcake, was very charming. Overall, he is both adorable and intimidating. Gabriel was more down to earth. I found their personality and appearance calming, which makes them probably one of the first in-game cops I can really say that about. Anyhow, this absolutely could make for a fun yandere visual novel if the creator decides to expand upon it. I really enjoyed the premise, and I absolutely will have to play the developer's other visual novel at some point. And if you made it this far, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoy yandere horror visual novels. If you did like it, please hit that like button. It not only makes me feel good, but it also puts the video into the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more of me but you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and sometimes extras and shorts randomly throughout the week. I also stream on Twitch on kind of a rotating schedule at this point, but usually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Fridays are usually twice a month, but they have been known to be more, and sometimes less. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye!